Hi, welcome back to Better You. I'm your host, Cynthia Thompson, and I have a fabulous guest with me today. He's not a native Charlottean, but he does a lot of good work here in Charlotte. He is Chef Ron
Hi, Cynthia. How are you?
from the Community Culinary School of Charlotte. So, Chef Ron, let's start with that. What exactly is that?
The Community Culinary School of Charlotte?
Uh-huh.
The community. Well, first, I'd like to say thank you to A Better You and to you, Cynthia, for having me on
Oh,
your program.
thank
What a treat.
you.
Thanks so much for having me. The Community Culinary School of Charlotte is a school for adults who've experienced barriers to employment.
Uh-huh.
Some of those barriers stereotypically could have been an alcohol or drug addiction or incarceration, and the record follows you around. But really, the barriers these days with this economic tsunami that's on top of us have changed dramatically. Who's to say a fellow like Ricky W., who came to my school, who was in the aluminum refinishing business for 22 years, and that business closed within 2 weeks.
Ah.
That's as big a barrier as just about anything else. So the school's for adults, 12 to 14 weeks, and we teach them how to cook and then help them find work right here in the great city of Charlotte.
So, what is your background?
My background is I'm a classically trained chef from New York City. Came down here, heard about the school. My hero, Linda Vogler, who was the executive director before I was really out there trying to make a difference, teaching skills, fighting hunger, and making a difference in Charlotteans' lives. And I came and offered to help. The next thing you know, it's 11 years later, and here I am. They've asked me to run the school, to become the director. What a privilege, where I'm able to impact people's lives and impact the city of Charlotte.
Is this a nonprofit school or for-profit school?
It's a 501c3 nonprofit. I like to say nobody there is getting rich, but we are getting enriched because we are helping recreate legacies, people's legacies. I ask students when they come into the Community Culinary School of Charlotte, if aliens were to pull them from this earth today, what would folks be saying about them?
Okay, and what are some of the answers?
Well, I don't want the answers, but if it's less than what they were hoping folks would be saying about them, let the Community Culinary School of Charlotte start to improve that story going forward. Let's work on going forward and making a new history for ourselves.
So what are some things that your students learn at this school, besides learning how to cook?
Everything from the mother sauces, soup, stocks, sauces, cake frostings, biscuits, stuffed poached chicken breasts to, sausage gravy. It's great because the way the students paid to be a student at the school is to support the mission of Friendship Trays. Friendship Trays is the largest Meals on Wheels program, best tasting Meals on Wheels program in the city of Charlotte, in the county of Mecklenburg. So the Friendship Trays helps folks who can't feed themselves get food. So the way they do that is, it's a Meals on Wheels program. Are you familiar with Meals on Wheels program?
Just a little, but let's talk about the Meals on Wheels
700
program.
to 900 meals a day get cooked and then distributed to those folks in the city of Charlotte and the surrounding counties that can't feed themselves. Friendship Trays is also a 501c3 and dedicated to the fight against hunger in the Charlotte community. So the students, the way they paid to be a student at the Community Culinary School of Charlotte is to help support the mission of our sister agency, Friendship Trays. So they're in the kitchen learning while they're paying their tuition, but while they're paying their tuition through osmosis, they are learning institutional food service and they're also cooking. So if I may, let me give you an average morning for a student.
Okay.
Monday morning, 20 students come to the Community Culinary School of Charlotte, a 501c3 hunger-fighting nonprofit in Charlotte. And we break up into two groups, A group, B group. B group at 8:30 in the morning goes into the kitchen and starts to pay their tuition. Whatever Friendship Trays needs to get the meals out, the 700 to 900 meals out. It might be cooking pork chops or spinach for 700 folks, or it might be actually placing the cooked products into the boxes.
Oh, okay.
So it's whatever Friendship Trays needs to get the food out, to support its mission. The other group, A group, goes into the classroom and does what a cooking school is. We start to learn about soups, stocks, sauces, knife cuts, all those skills that we see on the Food Network, and we learn at the Johnson & Wales Central Piedmont Community College and the Art Institute of Charlotte. We just do it a little quicker because we only have students for 12 to 14 weeks from 8:30 to 4, Monday through Thursday, and 8:30 to 1 on Fridays.
So anyone can come to this school?
Pretty much the key word is adult. What constitutes an adult? I've had adults that were 16, 17 years old. They were on their own, fending for themselves, making a go of it in the city of Charlotte. They fit the bill, and we've had folks as old as 72 come. They just forgot to get a 401k, forgot to think about their retirement, needed to get back into the workforce, and we helped them.
And so when you say you help them, you just teach them how to cook or the proper way to cook?
We teach, there's hard skills and soft skills.
Okay.
I'm going to give you an education.
Okay, thank you.
The hard skills, we're going to teach them how to flip an egg without breaking the yolk, how to make perfect pasta, how to make the best tasting al-yo-yo, how to make just really wonderfully tasting food. The soft skills, we're going to teach them what to say, what not to say on an interview, how to present themselves to a hiring chef or a hiring restaurateur. And we do that every Tuesday with a job readiness workshop that covers everything from body language to a full-blown brand new resume, which is real important in today's work environment. So again, we're targeting both the hard skills and the soft skills for our students, for our adult students that come to see us.
Now, you told us before that you teach the students how to prepare meals. Do you have people to come and sample these meals?
Absolutely. We have, I'm pretty well known as a sampler throughout the building myself. I'd love for everyone in the viewing public of A Better You to come and invite them down to come and see the place in action any weekday between 8:30 and 10 o'clock and just see what goes on there and learn the impact that 2401 Distribution Street, which houses the Community Culinary School of Charlotte, Friendship Trades, and also the Gleaning Network, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. But I encourage all your viewers to come down and learn what goes on in that building, because we really are committed to the fight against hunger in the city of Charlotte and making a difference in people's lives.
So you can't save money? That's easy as pie. Drink from the tap. A $3 bottle of water a day times 10 years times 6% interest is over 14,000 clams. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
All right, back to the sampling, all right?
Yes.
We can't forget we're a cooking school, so we're cranking out some really good, tasty grub every day. For instance, today, Chef Chelsea, one of my chef instructors, just decided to make a raspberry lemon bar. I had to leave the school because it was so good I could not stop tasting. Now, I called it quality control for the first 6 or 7 tastes, but then after that, it's just pure self-indulgence. Again, tasting is important, and so is participation. What we want is we want the folks, while they are learning new food items that they might not have been acquainted with growing up, to taste and learn what certain items should taste like. For instance, a sausage gravy, or for instance, a good cooked collard green, or for instance, a really nice poached piece of salmon. They all need to know what the proper taste is, so when they're hired, because the Community Culinary School of Charlotte is all about helping our folks get off the dole and back onto the payroll, they need to know what products they're working with and their proper temperature range and taste and everything else.
So if I wanted to go to the Community Culinary School here in Charlotte, you would let me come? I have a job, so could I come to your school?
We treat each case individually. What we are about, yes, we would let you come, but then you'd have to understand that you might be taking the position of somebody else in the school who could really benefit from it, that might not at this time have a good a fortune as you have going on right now. Again, we treat each case individually, but Cynthia, you'd always be welcome to be a student at the Community Culinary School of Charlotte.
I might be a tough student. I'm not a very good cook.
Well, a lot of folks say that, but you'd be surprised what you've known just watching other folks as you're growing up cook for you and put food on the table for you. We actually ask students to think back about folks who were involved in their upbringing and their food preparation and think about some of the good items that they remember and then try and recreate that for fellow students. If I may, I'll give you an average early week to the school. Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 4 o'clock. And in the morning, again, the two groups break up from 8:30 to about 11:30. One group goes into the kitchen and pays their tuition. The other group is in the classroom with Chef Chelsea Howard or Byram Thompson or JoJo Alexander or Chef Amy Jaramatic or Chef Amy Novak, and they're learning all the fun stuff that a cooking school is. We have a big communal meal in the whole building at about 11:30, 12 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday. We discuss the day's events, we eat, and then we clean up the whole building, and in the afternoon, all the students come together and we have formal training. Everything from, again, knife skills to a velouté sauce, to a bechamel sauce, to holiday appetizers and holiday fare, to what foods go best at what time of year. And that's Monday through Thursday. On Friday, we have a short day where we dedicate, all the students in the building dedicate their time to the mission of Friendship Trays to make sure that those trays get out in a timely manner on Friday. And then we give them that afternoon to take care of the personal appointments. Because, again, we're dealing with adults who have doctor's appointments, cable television coming maybe, so they can get Channel 21 so they can watch a Better You on a regular basis. You know, all those type of things need to be done on Fridays. Now, that's Monday through Thursday and then Friday, but every Tuesday, again, we have that job readiness workshop where the students will learn how to sit on an interview, what should not be asked of them. Like, there are questions that employers really shouldn't be asking. I'll give you an example. And
That's true.
I don't want to give any trade secrets away, but employers need to know this. They shouldn't ask, how are they getting to work?
Right.
Because if I tell you I'm taking the bus and it's a snowstorm and or a rainstorm, you're going to be thinking it might alter your decision making concerning my employee or how many children I have and those other cases. So we're talking about the average day. So then there's also another component on Tuesdays which is really cool. And Lucy Bush Carter, who is the executive director of Friendship Trays, was the one that brought this into the forefront. Again, one of my mentors, and she instituted or got Slow Foods to come in and institute a garden project at 2401 Distribution Street, which is the building that houses the Community Culinary School of Charlotte and Friendship Trays. The building's donated to us by a man named Bruce Parker, who truly is a hero in the hunger fighting community and all of Charlotte. So this gardening project, Henry and Nadine started it. And students actually learn how to plant, nurture, grow, harvest, and cook vegetables in a fresh garden that we have right in our lot. It's a really cool thing to come out and explore, and it's actually growing. Friendship Trays and Slow Food Charlotte got a grant that's allowing them to do other gardens in other venues. So what we're trying to do is grow enough vegetables to help offset the cost of feeding, A, the recipients of Friendship Trays, the Meals on Wheels program, and B, having really cool, unique products like heirloom tomatoes and fresh herbs so that the students can work with really great, fresh, and plus we also need to all start eating healthier. But that's another show. We'll talk about that on another show. We all really need to start eating healthier and getting our children to think about eating healthier so we can live a better quality life here in this great city of Charlotte.
So speaking of foods, you said you got some of your food from your garden. Where do you get some of the other foods that you prepare?
Well, believe it or not, we have a budget and we have to buy food just like everyone else. Friendship Trays has a large budget. We work with one of the best food distributors in the Carolinas, and that's International Food House out of Hickory. They've been our main purveyor for both agencies, Friendship Trays and the Community Culinary School of Charlotte, for a long time. They offer great customer service, and they really understand the need of hunger-fighting entities. So it's really cool. Now, I'm going to have to give you a shameless plug here, so I just wanted to clarify that. Ready?
Okay.
The Community Culinary School of Charlotte, we're a non-profit.
Right.
So we have to go out and find monies to pay for salaries, lights, electricity, students' needs. All the students' needs are from grantors, gifts, donations. So what we decided to do is we started a catering company called Encore Catering. A full-service caterer, folks, full service. Weddings, box lunches, divorce parties, whatever the case might be, whatever you need to celebrate, we can provide. And what Encore Catering, it has a dual role. First, it's to generate money to put back into the 501c3, so we're not always asking for money. Second, it's to put students and alumni to work. We have somebody who has a blip on their past radar. that keeps them from getting that type of job that they really want. Let's say they have an arrest, maybe served a little time, whatever the case is. Well, we've just given them this new set of tools, this new set of culinary tools, and they're yearning, they're itching to use them. We'll use them at Encore Catering and allow them to hone their skills and actually pay them. So that's the dual purpose, to generate money back into the 501c3 and to put alumni and students to work. And it's overseen by executive chefs, me being one of them. The quality is unbelievable. The presentation's fantastic. And, of course, the taste is beyond your imagination. In the dictionary next to the word good is Encore Catering's taste of all their products.
About all the good things that you've been doing at your school, how does a person find out about your school if they're not able to watch this show? Tell me, what do they need to do?
That's a great question, because
Yeah.
students come from many different venues. A lot of it now mostly is word of mouth, because we're 11 years old. We've graduated over 660 students.
Really?
By the time this wonderful show airs, we will be right around 670 students that have
Wow.
graduated from the Community Culinary School of Charlotte. So we get them through word of mouth. We get them through social service agencies.
Okay.
We get referrals from the court systems when necessary. We work with work release. And again, we're just out there. We're doing stuff. We're getting in front of folks, and there's wonderful folks like yourself and great programs like A Better You that are allowing us to stand and tell folks, here we are, let us help you help Charlotte. So social service agencies, churches, and again, the court system helps a great deal.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Ativa and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
So, Chef Ron, I would hate for us to leave without you telling me a couple of your success stories.
Wow.
I know you have a lot.
670, I consider them all a success story, but I do have some wonderful ones. There's a young man that came to me, geez, it's time, as you get older, time just flies, right?
It does.
Seems like yesterday, but it was about 5 years ago, and this fellow was in a class of mine. And he was from the West Boulevard corridor, and he had been arrested and served time in prison for drug sales, whatever the case may be. I mean, he was really bad at it, and he kept getting caught, so it was time he thought about another career. And he came into the class, and he kind of had an attitude and was a bit of a wise guy. And, you know, we've been through our experience with other young men have allowed us the privilege of guiding these young men in a certain manner that's worked. So we gave him some really great insight, and he actually listened to it. And Cynthia, I promise you, we told him this on a Thursday, and by the next Monday, it was like a different person was in there.
Oh, really?
And this fellow, Byram, has now been with the school for 4 years as a chef instructor, working as a caterer, just working, making a living, making car payments, making rent payments, and he's becoming much more of a example in his community. His little community where he lives, his church, I know his mom likes him better because she's told me she likes him better. But he's just wonderful, and he is at the school just about every day in some capacity, whether it be as the caterer or as a chef instructor, but he's much more than those. What he's become is a mentor. He doesn't even know this, and Byram, if you're watching this, you're a mentor. He's become a mentor for the other young men that come through the program because he's been there and he's been successful. So when other fellows want to make an excuse that, oh, I don't want to, he says, look, I'm here, I'm doing this. These are the fruits that are going to grow from the seeds you're planting with the Community Culinary School of Charlotte. So that's wonderful. And then on the flip side, with the gals, there's 2 or 3 that really come to mind, but Sybil Durant and Tammy Curry, who are both employed with Friendship Trays right now, they are living examples of the fruit that has blossomed and beautified this great city of Charlotte. They understand the mentorship. Sybil is running the kitchen for Friendship Trays, making a great living. She got a dietary manager certificate. She has really impacted so many people's lives through her journey of Community Culinary School of Charlotte and then key employee for Friendship Trays. And when gals come into the Community Culinary School of Charlotte's program and see Sybil, they look and at first they might be a little intimidated because she runs that kitchen the way it's supposed to be run. The way that's most effective for everybody. And that really impacts the fight against hunger in Charlotte. And the gals see that, and at first they might be a little intimidated, but then by the end of the program, everybody wants to work in that building in some capacity. My wish would be to see that everyone who comes through that building is fed, that hunger's eliminated in Charlotte, and that all the students at the Community Culinary School of Charlotte find successful, gainful, long-term employment.
I present to you Algebra 2. Who will step up to his challenge?
Me.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
How does your school compare to the Johnson & Wales, the CPCC, the Art Institute?
Well, off the record, we taste better, but let me really tell you what that's all about. Johnson & Wales, Central Piedmont Community College, the Art Institute of Charlotte. They champion us. They help us.
Oh, that's good.
Bob Bowl of Central Piedmont Community College is always there with some form of guidance and experience that he shares with us, and that helps us grow. It helps me grow as a director and as an instructor, and in turn, his tutelage and his willingness for CP to have CPCC participate with us on all different levels. It's a win-win. It allows everyone to grow and expand, which enables us to put out a better product. Our students are products, okay? I know that's a harsh look at them, but the better product we put out, the more that America's willing to pay for them. So if we put out a great product, a great alumni comes out of our school, restaurateurs and chefs will pay more for them to have them on their staff. CPCC, Johnson & Wales, Peter Reinhardt and his crew, Bernice Parente and her crew, they have been championing us since they've been in town. They support us with time, talent, and treasure. Those 3 T's that are so important to a little grassroots nonprofit that the Community Culinary School of Charlotte is. And the Art Institute through IFSE has IFSE, which is the International Food Service Executives Association. And there'll be a quiz on that later, Cynthia, what IFSE stands for. Mark and his crew have really the same thing, that tutelage with instruction, usage of their facilities for our functions. Again, we're blessed to partner with them on any level.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a
One
dad
more
today.
time. Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
Community Culinary School of Charlotte is a ministry. We're a school, and we're a business. The ministry side. We're a man helping man, person helping person, woman helping woman ministry, open to all faiths and denominations in the Carolinas, which makes us very attractive throughout the Carolinas. The school, we're a school. You're going to come in and you're going to learn how to make apple pie. You're going to learn how to make steak au poivre. You are going to come in and learn things. You're going to learn how to do a resume properly. You are going to learn what seasoning goes with what dish. The business side. So the ministry, the school, and the business. The business side. We are very, very good stewards of all that comes our way. All those 3 T's that I mentioned earlier, the time, the talent, and the treasure, they're measurable in our school. You can see the impact that $10 makes. You can see the impact that a better you will have on our students. You will see the impact that somebody coming in and working one-on-one in a mentorship capacity with our students makes, helps, and does to our student and alumni body. So again, the school, the ministry, the school, and the business. And the business side, we really need to focus on it in this economy because we're doing more with less. Unfortunately, the impact the economic tsunami had on America is now really being felt. It happened back there, but that tide, by the time that wave has reached us with everything changing and money becoming so tight, is right now on top of us. So we have to really, I don't even know if it's belt tightening. We just have to hold on to the belts where they are and make sure
Yeah.
that they don't get any looser, and that we're still able to really impact the students and the folks that come to us for that, you know, training that will really help them recreate their legacy.
One last question, because we're almost out of time. What does the future look like for the Culinary School of Charlotte?
Well, I think when A Better You is syndicated to 500 stations throughout America, we're going to ride your no, I would love to say. The Community Culinary School of Charlotte is not going anywhere, and I tell my students that, and I tell my alumni that, and I tell my staff that, and we tell our supporters that. We are there. We are committed to making a difference in the city of Charlotte. We're committed to fighting hunger and creating opportunity in a great partnership with our sister agency, Friendship Trays, and our sister agency, the Gleaning Network. Can I touch on that for a moment?
Just a moment,
The
yes.
Gleaners, the St. Andrews Society of, they find fresh fruits and vegetables that somehow have been overlooked, and they make sure they get to folks that are in need in the Charlotte community. So we can't be offering our kids, you know, breads and cakes and pies and chips all the time. We got to make sure that they get fresh fruits and vegetables. The Community Culinary School of Charlotte, with the assistance of our sister agencies and the support of A Better You and other folks out there, we're going to be here for some time impacting the city of Charlotte, making sure our students get the tools they need to be a success.
Chef Ron, thank you so much for joining me today. We can go on and on and on. I want to hear some more. Would you come back to my show?
I would come back to your show anytime. I want to thank you very much, Cynthia, for having us, and A Better You for taking the time to
Thank
call us and
you.
have us come over.
When you come back, will you cook?
Absolutely. That would be a great show.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that.
Very good.
And thank you so much for watching my show today. And if you want to know more information about the Community Culinary School of Charlotte, you can go to my website at www.abetteryouShow.com.